Hey there, YouTube family. Stocks with Josh here. I'm checking in with you guys even though I'm traveling because I want to go over an important data report that came out, and I'm going to give you guys my 5-day forecast for the S&P 500. First off, we got the jobless claims report that came out with a high of 219,000. I told you guys in a recent video that there were 3 barriers to the stock market going higher: housing, food costs, and unemployment. If unemployment is too high, then the Fed has room to raise rates higher, which works against the markets. I want you guys to hit that like, say hi in the comments. If you're new to the page, then subscribe and hit the notification bell. So the big picture is the economy is slowing as the Federal Reserve is jacking up the interest rates, trying to extinguish the highest inflation in the last 40 years, and he's not going to stop until we have a much higher unemployment rate. That is the pain metric. Raising rates is the chemo and unemployment is the aftermath. In general, I don't think that the market was impressed with the 219,000 jobless claim because new jobless claims before seasonal adjustments were basically much lower. They were at 167,000. That being compared to the headline number that gets Wall Street's attention was actually one of the lowest readings in history. Claims are still just too low, meaning that the economy is just too strong, and so the market didn't rally off of that report. The conclusion is still that we're not in enough pain, and so we have the threat of the Fed raising rates. The stock market needs a dose of reality. The way things are going now, the Fed isn't going to come to the rescue by pivoting. With no Fed coming to the rescue, there is no reason for the markets to climb. And so all that's left to do is to figure out, qualify, or justify how low they might rationally go and which companies are most likely going to bring the markets down to those lowest levels of support, that level where the buyers are going to be motivated to put money back to work. So is there any chance that these markets are going to move higher moving forward? Well, we have a very interesting signal that I was reading about today, and that's called the thrust signal. The thrust signal is when there is a surge in the number in advancing stocks. When this thrust signals, it typically has led to the following weeks being bullish and often a full 10% increase from where the signal was first triggered. The last trigger for this signal was July 21st, after which we got a 10% bounce on the S&P 500. That took us all the way up to the 200-day moving average where the market touched and reversed and began to move back downward again. So let's look closely at what happened after July 21st. Basically, over the next 3 days, the market stepped down after they got that signal. So if we were to compare it to what we're going through right now, that would have been today's down day, tomorrow's down day, and then a down day on Monday. And then if it were to carry suit, it would mean that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week would be up days, which interestingly drives us right up to October 13th when we're going to get our inflation data report. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. This is just highly speculative, but I like to have some semblance of a framework or point of view on the market as to see how the markets might perform, see if I can be incentivized to put money back to use. Right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. If it continues to fall that way, I'm going to be looking at very closely to put some money back to use at the close of Monday. Now, I don't know how it'll turn out. We'll have to see how that turns out together. I read a very interesting report that I wanted to share with you guys. They were comparing the current traders and the bearish sentiment that we have right now and how much people are holding their money in stocks and cash. And they went back to previous recessions where the bearish sentiment was as high as it is right now. And what they found is that people were holding much less stock when the bearish sentiment was as high as it is right now. So when the metrics hit a certain height, people were out of stocks and they were into cash, only holding about 22% stock. Now, with the exact same bearish sentiment today, interestingly, people are holding above 30% stock. And so this is divergence amongst the bears, the old bears and the new bears. The new bears are extremely pessimistic, but they're actually not letting go of their stock. They're still staying invested at a much higher rate, which shows a lack of conviction, perhaps, that even though fear is really elevated, there's still the belief that stocks at this level may be a good buy. And so I want us to take that into consideration and realize that even though there's a lot of FUD and a lot of bearish sentiment, most of the traders out there are still holding a pretty large position in stocks. Something to think about. All right, let's also take a look at the SPX, which measures the S&P 500. And I want to point out some areas of resistance, and I want to point out some areas of support. I want to show you that the S&P 500, even though we came down on the day, is actually still above its EMA. It's exponential moving average, which means that in the short term, the trend is still bullish. So we have some things that do not agree with each other in the charts. If we had to guess which direction the market was going tomorrow, we would have to assume that it's going to go back up until we get a close beneath that EMA, which we actually do not have. So if the S&P 500 continues to move up, I would guess that it's going to back test that 3880 to 3900 range that it had bounced off before. So I believe there's still a pretty strong opportunity for these markets to move up. If we look at what's ahead of us next week with the inflation report coming out, it actually wouldn't shock me if the markets continue to move up until we got that report, until we got that potential bad news, and come all the way up to the 3880, 3900 area. It could possibly hit a wall, and it could then come further down. Of course, the opposite could happen. If that inflation report was super low, we could just break through and move into a much more stronger bearish trend. And I believe the next level up of testing, if we went into a bullish trend, would be that 4100 to 4200 area. All right, I have to quickly comment on the Twitter stock. I have followed Twitter, and I am just shocked that this stock is as high as it is. In my mind, it's not worth a dime right now, over $30. I believe it's a $20 stock. Maybe a lot of you assumed that Elon Musk would lose. I didn't necessarily think that he would give up so quickly, and I was surprised when he came out and said that he was going to move forward with the deal, the agreed upon price of $54.20. And I'm only going to say about that when this deal goes through, I think Twitter is going to fall hard because I really believe that it's overpriced right now. And I think that even though Elon Musk has brought a lot of success to a lot of different companies, I think it's just going to drop really hard. I'm just going to share with you what I think. Someone might tell you that it's going to go up because Elon is now running it. I think the likelihood is that it's going to drop like a rock because I think he overpaid for it. But I also believe that once he begins to implement things and bring changes to it, we're going to see some opportunity for the upside. I think it's going to be a volatile stock, and I'm actually going to be watching it so that I can swing trade it, and I'll talk to you guys about it more moving forward. It's going to be a very interesting stock to keep our eyes on. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section your thoughts on Twitter. If you guys think it's a buy, a hold, or if it's a pump and dump coming soon. You can comment here on YouTube. You can also comment over on the MooMoo app. You guys know I connect with you more. There's no spam over on YouTube. We get the people wanting you to Instagram, Telegram, and WhatsApp them, contact them, pretending to be me. It's not me. I don't have those applications or those phone numbers to give you guys. But if you want to come join me over on MooMoo, you know they have a great offer right now, 15 free stock for opening and funding an account, with the stock potentially being valued at $30,000. And if you guys are not wanting to mess with these markets right now and you're wanting to do value stock investing, the best way that I've found to do that is with the Webull app, which allows you to do fractional share buying. You can set it and forget it and just have that money come out of your weekly paychecks. All right, so we're looking ahead to next week's inflation report, and I believe overall it's more likely that these markets are going to default to going up in preparation of potentially getting bad data, so that we can potentially come down real hard next week. And so we could easily slowly drift back up between now and Thursday of next week. Of course, there's going to be the opportunity for profit taking on shorts being closed, and then we're going to see how these data points come out, such as the inflation report ahead of us, and then the earnings from big tech, which I talked to you guys about in the other video. Those are the things that are either going to bring us to these all-time lows or perhaps break us out of this range. Final thought on our verb play. We are sitting at 40.45 cents today. And I'm just going to repeat something I've said before. I know that some of you guys are trading that, and there's always nervousness when something is heading down. But I have actually not added to my position because I have a full bag of it right now. But I'll tell you this, even at 45 cents, we are 50% higher than June's lows. So it's actually a pretty good performing stock, and I do still believe it's in accumulation. Before you head out, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Peace and blessings, my friends. I'll try to check in with you tomorrow. Take care.